The Floating Girl of 1990. In the quiet town of Millfield, there was an old abandoned hospital on the hill. Locals whispered about strange things happening there ever since 1990, the year a little girl named Emily disappeared without a trace. Emily was just 7 years old, a bright, curious child who loved to explore. One stormy night in October 1990, she vanished from her room in the hospital where her mother worked as a nurse. No one ever found her, but rumors spread fast. Some said Emily's spirit never left the hospital. Years later, teenagers dared each other to enter the building at night. They'd hear soft giggles echoing through the halls and see faint lights flicker in the windows. But the scariest tale was about the floating girl. Witnesses said she wasn't like other ghosts. Emily's spirit was seen drifting just above the floor, her white dress glowing faintly in the darkness. She floated silently through rooms, her eyes hollow and sad, as if searching for something or someone. One night, a curious young man named David decided to find out the truth. Armed with only a flashlight and his camera, he stepped inside the decaying hospital. The air was cold and thick with dust. Shadows stretched like claws along the peeling walls. David walked the long corridors, calling out softly, "Emily, are you here?" Suddenly, a cold breeze brushed past him. The flashlight flickered. Up ahead, a pale figure appeared, floating just inches above the cracked tiles. It was her, Emily, the floating girl. David's heart pounded as the ghostly child turned to face him. Her eyes, empty yet full of sorrow, seemed to plead silently. She raised a small hand and pointed toward the old treatment wing. Compelled by a strange force, David followed. In a forgotten room, he found an old diary covered in dust. Opening it, he read Emily's last written words. "They don't want me here. They want me gone. Please find the truth." Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness. David's flashlight died. In the pitch black, he felt cold fingers wrap around his wrist. A whisper echoed, "Help me." Terrified, David dropped the diary and ran through the twisting hallways. Behind him, he heard soft footsteps floating, following his every move. Outside, the storm raged harder as David burst through the hospital doors. Gasping for breath, he glanced back to see Emily's glowing figure watching silently from a window. The next day, David returned with a team to investigate. They discovered that in 1990, Emily had been a victim of a terrible secret, her disappearance covered up by hospital staff, involved in dark experiments. After the investigation, David became obsessed with uncovering every detail about Emily's fate. The townspeople remained tight-lipped, fearful of reopening old wounds, but David knew the truth was buried deep within Hillcrest's dark past. One night, David returned alone to the hospital. He was determined to communicate with Emily's spirit and bring her peace. This time, he brought a small tape recorder to capture any sounds or voices. As David set the recorder on the floor, he whispered, "Emily, if you're here, please speak to me." The silence was thick, broken only by the faint drip of water somewhere far away. Suddenly, a soft giggle echoed around the hallway, chilling David to his bones. The temperature dropped suddenly, and David's breath came out in visible puffs. His hair stood on end as a cold breeze brushed past him, carrying with it a whisper, "Find the truth. Set me free." Suddenly, a door slammed shut somewhere deep in the hospital, and David felt a tug on his sleeve. Spinning around, he saw Emily's glowing figure standing just inches away, her hollow eyes pleading. "There's something hidden beneath this hospital." Emily's voice seemed to echo in his mind, "a place they don't want anyone to find." David found a hidden trapdoor beneath the floorboards near the old treatment wing. Heart pounding, he opened it to reveal a narrow staircase spiraling down into pitch darkness. With only his flashlight and recorder, David descended into the underground chamber. Below, he discovered a forgotten laboratory, rusted machinery, broken glass vials, and faded documents scattered across tables. The air was thick with the scent of chemicals and decay. Among the papers, David found files revealing horrific experiments on children, genetic testing and mind control trials, disguised as treatments. Emily's name was on one of the files marked Subject 0. Suddenly, the recorder captured a soft, desperate voice. "Please, help me." David felt a wave of sorrow and rage swell inside him. He promised to expose the truth and free Emily's spirit from the torment of her past. Back in Millfield, David organized a public gathering to share the hospital's dark history and honor the children lost to the experiments. Candlelight filled the town square as people gathered, many with tears in their eyes, finally confronting the painful past. That night, David returned once more to Hillcrest Hospital. In the silence, Emily's glowing figure appeared. This time her eyes were calm, filled with gratitude. Slowly, she floated upward through the ceiling, disappearing into the starlit sky, finally free.